resistance.
What's up, everyone? This is Tin Man, Chris Sheldon with the Worldwide Resistance Network. Joining me today is good old Reverend Ordo, and we are fresh out of bed. We had a bit of a sleeping start, so we are drinking ourselves some Meth Monster Blue, the fictitious product that doesn't actually exist because we are not sponsored by APAC or any of that bullshit. We have no corporate sponsors. We are of the people, by the people, for the people. So by all means, if you can, support the broadcast. Go online, check out our online store. Tons of great merch there. And if that's not your thing, see, there you go, Reverend, support the gear, man. But if that's not your thing, it costs nothing to share the live feeds. Follow us on X, YouTube, Rumble, all at REALTWWRN. Fucking up YouTube's algorithm costs absolutely nothing. Hitting that notification bell to be notified anytime we go live doesn't cost you shit. Really helps us out. Really helps the algorithm. Helps our exposure. And as always, be a part of the conversation. We've already got quite a few people joining us. Comments are now enabled. And we are one of, if not the only, political podcasting network that includes you in the conversation. Most online hosts will open up the phone lines for a few minutes, let callers call in periodically. We don't do that. The roundtable is as much about you as it is about anybody else on camera. So if you have any thoughts, opinions, information, or just care to fucking troll, join in the comment section and become a part of the conversation and be a part of the roundtable. And on that note, Revan, what are we going to talk about today?
Oh, dude. Oh, man. There's some big news here, man. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, what you got?
Charlie Kirk's going to be replaced as CEO of Turn Point USA.
Really?
Exactly.
Yeah, we're kind of we are kind of going to be diving.
You would not believe who's going to take her place.
What?
Charlie Kirk's sister.
This should be interesting. But yeah, we're going to dive into a lot of the details regarding Toilet Paper USA.
Oh, hell yeah.
And what happened with her, Israel, the mysterious circumstances with the passing of Charlie Kirk, and all the allegations of theirs and Israel's alleged involvement. Gonna be taking a look at a lot of videos from Candace Owens, and even Lucid had some thoughts on this. He was invited to join the roundtable, but unfortunately he's not able to join us today because he actually works for a military contractor, and with everything going on in Iran right now, they are working 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, producing very military equipment. So he is not able to join us, but he was able to provide some thoughts and opinion. But yeah, this is pretty much going to center around, what's our favorite word? Jews! Yes. Ever since this whole thing started with Charlie Kirk's passing, the mysterious circumstances, Erica Kirk and Israel have been at the epicenter of this whole damn thing. Now, whether or not she and or Israel had something to do with his passing and the subsequent assassination that took place, we don't know. We cannot say one way or another. It's just, we can only look at the information that is available. Now, me personally, I think, and Reverend, I don't know what your thoughts and opinion are on this matter, but I personally think that Tyler Robinson was the shooter, if not one of the shooters. And I think he is essentially oblivious to any other variables that might have been going on.
Or he might be a patsy.
No, I don't think he's a patsy. I think he legitimately believes what he says he did and the allegations surrounding that. And here's why. He's a punk kid. He's a weak-minded kid. A lot of these people that get involved in these communities, especially the trans community, are very weak-minded, very easily influenced, and would cave under pressure. Now, if he was aware of any ulterior motives or any outside involvement or any third parties that were participating in this assassination, he would have spilled the beans. Now, a lot of people say that he did spill the beans, but with AI, you can't really definitively substantiate that claim. And what's come out thus far suggests that he is sticking to this official story that he was the lone gunman. Whereas under pressure, a kid like that would have cracked. And what more pressure could there be that you're going to be facing life in prison or even the death penalty for premeditated murder? I mean, that's a lot of pressure. And at which point,
it is.
If that kid could take a plea deal and say, no, it was this person or that person, they paid me, blah, 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 he would have caved. There's a lot of people throughout recent history involved in mass shootings or assassinations or even assassination attempts who were put out by other people. And it's come forward. It's like, no, I did it for this person, or I was a paid actor at this protest, blah, blah, blah.
Not just that, but you had several school shootings and other shootings to have transgender individuals that did it, but the media, but the media is trying to portray it as a white guy. Okay, but now the thing is, this transgender ideology being pushed around for the last 5-6 years, and you had eight, 9 shootings or booms by people following the transgender ideology.
Yes. And it seems to be very prominent in the transgender ideology and within that community. So it would have to be assumed that these people are a prime target to engage in this behavior. Now, a lot of people would say that Israel was directly involved. I would disagree to a point, because Israel has a very big influence over the media, music, television, and so on. And we're going to get into that. And they're trying to gain even more control here. But they have a lot of influence over the media. And it's well known that they created these ideologies even as far back as the 1930s and 40s, which led to the the subsequent events of World War II. So this is nothing new. We know that they created this leftist woke LGBTQ ideology and have been pushing it in the media and in the Democratic Party, which tends to lean towards these ideas. You have blackmail of government officials by way of the Epstein files and these people engaging, mostly Democrats. There are some Republicans, let's not mince words, but primarily Democrats who are engaged in the activities surrounding Epstein, not just the pedophilia, but child sacrifice, cloning, bloodletting, blood drinking, cannibalism, so on and so forth. There was a lot of issues there, but I don't know that I could say that Israel was directly involved in the shooting, maybe pushing the ideology, pushing the narrative very subtly, but I don't think they came to Tyler Robinson and said, here's the gun, here's the money, show up at this place at this time and do this job. I don't think that was the case. I don't know that that was the case with Erica Kirk and anything she had going on. I could be wrong, but I don't think that Israel would have had a direct influence or hand in what took place. And we have got a comment. Zero, welcome. I says there's a big difference in what we are told happens, what occurred, and how something occurred. Most people are stuck on what we're being told and not looking at what is occurring to know how it occurred. And yes, Zero, that is something we are going to actually look into right now, because there was a lot of stuff surrounding Erica Kirk. And I have a video file here that I want to play.
Well,
that
if you also think about, even though it's off topic here just a little bit, if you go back to the 60s to the 70s and the early to mid 80s with the satanic panic,
yeah,
and that deals with devil worshiping, child trafficking, all that shit. Now, if you remember about between 88 and 85, there was a case that spanned 3 years between 80 and 85, where a nursery school was accused of child trafficking, a
lot of the same shit that the Epstein files revealed.
Yeah, but that was blown out of proportion because somebody assumed. But I cannot confirm. I cannot say or deny that, or confirm or deny, because sometimes you got to really think about all that time period between then and now. Okay.
Yes.
If you look at the Boys and Girls Club in Nebraska, okay, in the 80s, teens, okay, 12 to 15 were sent to these places to be used by politicians, executives, all the who's who in of the time, and they all went to DC for these parties. Now, if you're the who's who during the time, they would take pictures of you doing an evil deed with a adolescent.
Yeah, they would catch you on camera or on video,
and use it as
pictures or video or even audio in a compromising situation,
and use it as blackmail.
Yeah.
So now, if you go back to 1982 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Johnny Gosh, he's a victim. He's a victim of trafficking. Is he alive? Don't know. Right now, he could be what, 55, 56 years old now, or yeah, 56. No one knows if he's alive or dead.
No.
Now, I'm gonna say this: Conspiracy of Silence is the documentary that's going to be on the Discovery Channel back in 1991. Okay.
Yes.
The network got a big old political pushback and pressure, and they had to destroy all copies in the original. But one fell through the cracks, and you can see it on YouTube. One made through the cracks. And if your viewers want to know what I'm talking about, type it up in the search bar. There you go. It's there.
Yeah. Don't mind that message, by the way. That was just me. Shit around.
But the whole Epstein file, man, is like going bonkers, man. Like
it is. It really is.
It's the what the fuck of what the fuck.
It's very much a what the fuck of the what the fuck.
I mean, you have Christian Holmes. She got fired. She got fired.
Yeah.
And Spam Bondi, she's in deep shit now.
She's always in deep shit. That woman is never not in deep shit.
The reason that Num got fired was she spent $200 million. She was accused of spending $200 million on ad. Allegedly, she was in it herself, but no. Well, she did that, but the thing is, she spent it on where Donald Trump wasn't in the ad. Really, dude? Plus, she interfered with Corey Romandowski.
Yeah. I mean, she's been caught up in a lot of shit. And even Erica herself is getting caught up in a lot of shit. And I noticed, like, every time Trump gets on TV, and in terms of his publicity, especially at the State of the Union address, Erica Kirk was there. He pushed that narrative. And I definitely think there's a narrative to be pushed there. And we're going to explore this.
The audio.
But,
the audio.
But there's something I want to play. And there's some points that we need to explore and really discuss. And the first being the autopsy. I've got a video here that talks about that, and we're gonna go ahead and have a look at that video right now. And people just love messaging me. They don't get the point that I'm on a podcast. You guys know the schedule. Why do you keep messaging me? Yeah, here's the video regarding Erica Kirk and the autopsy report.
This moment right here, this is not an accident. This is a psychological operation in real time, and it's being used to shape what millions believe.
Excuse me, but
Oh, no, this wasn't the autopsy report. What happened to that video? I lost that video, apparently. But my bad. I got the wrong video. But we will go back to that video later. There was a video somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. I know I have it. I know I had it. I don't know what happened to the video file. I think I lost it, but fuck it. But the whole thing is that Erica Kirk says she has seen the autopsy report, but that there was no autopsy report, and that Israel came in and said not to do an autopsy, and they dropped a lot of money into that and really pushed that narrative. What are you looking at, Revan?
Trying to find there's some news that PX got fired.
Yeah. Well, while you're looking that up, you have the variables that Erica Kirk allegedly saw the autopsy report, and that she read it. There was nothing malicious there, but apparently there was no autopsy report to actually be read. So she says she read an autopsy report that doesn't actually exist. And now it's come out recently also that Israel suppressed that. Now, it is highly questionable if Israel had no hand in this. Why would they involve themselves in the whole thing with the autopsy report, unless it would be to actually say, hey, get this autopsy report out in the open so that we're vindicated? You know, that really doesn't make a lot of sense unless there's a cover up there. And given that we don't have the actual bullet that shot Charlie Kirk, at least we're told we don't have the bullet, it lends credence to the idea of what Candace Owens had been proposing, that there might have been a second shooter. Now, Lucid, he's had some ideas on this, and I'm going to go ahead and pull that up right now. I'm going to have a look at what he's had to say on this matter. And okay. That is not Lucid. That is something stupid I said to you. Okay. So I hit him up, said, since you are working Saturdays, would you care to give your thoughts on TPUSA, Erica Kirk, whether she or Israel has anything to do with Charlie's death, what Candace Owens is saying, etc.? And this is what he has had to say. He goes, well, damn, that's a lot to unpack for real. Well, obviously, she had something to do with it, whether she had him killed or had a hand in it. I believe just about everything that Candace Owens has said, her being his closest friend. And though this is just my own idea, I think Candace and him had some kind of romantic thing at one point. I know they loved each other. I think that someone or some entity approached Erica and paid her to set Charlie up. And as Erica is ex-CIA, one of the top operatives who taught other CIA agents, I believe that her role was also governmentally involved as well, which points to her and the vice president having some kind of romantic thing. I believe he also had a hand in it. That's it in a nutshell, I guess. And he goes on to say, I believe this rabbit hole goes very deep, and I think Candace Owens is close to figuring it out, or has figured it out, and hasn't said anything yet because she's waiting for the right time. And Charlie kind of predicted his death a few days before it happened. This whole thing points to him and Erica getting divorced too. I don't think Erica was too happy about that. I think Charlie found out something about Erica and called her out and was about to blow the lid off the whole Israel thing. And Erica knew that if he did it, it would get her locked up or worse. And what's with Erica not wanting people to go through his phone? I think there are answers there as well.
I think I found the audio.
You think you found the audio?
Yeah.
Go ahead and send it to me.
Not releasing the Epstein files. Fuck Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't care what you do. Start a fucking war. Just don't let him get out. If I go down, I will bring all of you down with me.
Okay, is that legit or is that AI generated?
It says here, in February, March, social media users began sharing sound clips allegedly featuring a leaked phone call or a recording of Donald Trump in which the president is heard yelling, not releasing the files related to a convicted offender, Epstein, even if it takes to start a war to distract from the controversial case. The clip began circulating after the U.S. Israel's airstrike on targeting Iran on February 28th. In the audio, Trump is heard saying, we're not releasing the Epstein files. Fuck Marjorie Green. I don't care what you do. Start a fucking war. Just don't let it out. If I go down, I'm bringing down all you down with me.
Okay, was he quoting somebody else or was that his quote directly?
Now, fact check, fake audio created by AI, by using AI. Someone used
okay,
AI,
so it's a fake soundbite. So there was no point playing this.
And someone used AI. The audio, however, is fake and was created using OpenAI Sora 2, an artificial intelligence tool that allows users to create AI-generated videos with sound. So everybody, it's a fake audio leak used by AI, OpenAI.
Yeah, and it's important to get that information out there and let people know, hey, this is fake.
Now,
whether or not there was a conversation like that, we don't know.
Here's what I'm thinking. Okay, Zero, man, dude. If this wasn't a straight up legit audio, I mean, like straight mind blown audio leak, and it was legit. Oh, holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean, we all know our president's a war criminal as is, what the fuck.
Yeah, he's already shot himself in the foot with
balls.
that damn thing.
Not in the foot, in the balls.
Yeah. No argument from the peanut gallery on that one.
He quite literally shot himself in the balls going along with his invasion of Iran, right?
Seems Israel's Project Anchor, Curso said.
But if it was a legit audio leak, the media will be like, just how do we not cover this, man? Like, holy, but the thing is, you gotta remember,
especially considering they are very, very pro. Let's get Trump by any means. I mean, if they had anything legitimate on him, they would be pushing that.
Now,
like the second coming of Christ.
Okay? We all know.
In fact, they'd probably be pushing it more than the second coming of Christ.
We all know that TikTok, Meta, right? and you too, right, would fight to not even, they would fight to censor, but you have Minds, Gab, MeWe, right? Parlor, Getter, Truth Social, X, okay? Tumblr, right? All these are alternative media outlets. Alternative social media outlets, okay? They would love to give the people this straight up audio if it was legit, okay? Legit. No. Now, it's getting kind of hinky in a way because we all know that Charlie Kirk is going to be replaced by the sister of Charlie Kirk. I'll be happy. I will go if it happens right now. I will wait till this is all done. Go to the nearest store, grab me 2 Modelos, and drink myself.
Well, this is where I want to go with this conversation right now, and we'll touch on Charlie Kirk's replacement here in a moment. But I want to cover this aspect, and this is BB Shitting Yoo-Hoo having a meeting with social media influencers about controlling the flow of information as it pertains to Israel.
Oh, hell yeah, man.
Too many people.
Bibi Netanyahu is now hosting an on-camera meeting with American social media influencers to talk about how they are going to shape U.S. opinion. I honestly, with my eyes, I was going, this can't be real. Like they're not even hiding it anymore, right? It's like first it was a conspiracy theory. Now it's like, here's what we're going to do.
So with Charlie's assassination and with the kind of trajectory that we see with like Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I guess I'm curious about what's another game plan if we lose evangelical support for the state of Israel. What's our backup plan to be strong, like outside of the diaspora?
The woke right. And he said, I call it the woke Reich. That's brilliant. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. We're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him.
Okay, so like we're allowed to say Israel controls the media now. Okay, I think that's just like on camera. Now there will be no dispute about this. The fact that you have a foreign leader, it's incredible. You have a foreign leader who is sitting up there saying that he wants his agents, he needs the deal to go through, which by the way, let's call out Donald Trump right now. Okay, all of the acting. We don't want China. We don't want China to own TikTok, and I'm worried about your data. No, you wanted to hand it over to your Zionist friends. Okay, it was all a mirage. Okay, it was all theater. Donald Trump has sold us out to Israel once again. Okay, so he's saying, I want this deal to go through. And we know who's a part of that deal. It's Larry Ellison, who is very clear about the fact that he's an agent of Israel. So he's basically saying, we need to take over TikTok because what are they going to do? What they've already done? They're going to censor speech. The reason that they got on board, just like the ADL spokesperson said when he was caught on the mic, was like, we need to do something about TikTok. And now they're doing the thing. Right? They are going to take over TikTok and they're going to ban your speech. It's happening right now. One of the executives there that they installed immediately after, she said she was a proud Zionist and spent time in Israel. We saw instantly that our content was getting strikes. You can't say anything bad right now about Israel on TikTok. And this is because it's what Bibi Netanyahu has willed, right? They want to censor speech, which was something that Charlie was very worried about. Bibi Netanyahu is now
Yeah, like this. She's definitely a woman after my own heart, man. And it is a big concern, because even if TPUSA and Israel didn't have any direct connection to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there was obviously a deal on the table. There was obviously a deal on the table that Charlie was a part of and opted out of with Israel. And I think that is a variable that may have pissed Erica off, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of political and religious backlash to the organization to opt out of Israel and a partnership deal with them. So I can see where she would be very pissed off about that. And then after the death of Charlie Kirk, would attempt to capitalize where Charlie Kirk veered away, and subsequently take that deal that Charlie Kirk rejected, because we all know she's about the money, she's about the publicity, she's a major publicity hound, and it helps push that pro-Israel, gotta support the Jews and bless the seed of Abraham, Genesis covenant narrative. So there's a lot to be gained there, especially in terms of money and publicity for Erica and Turning Point USA, that otherwise would not have been there. Yeah, it's proven detrimental in the long run, but I do think that if nothing else, Charlie rejected the deal, and then after Charlie's passing, Erica takes over and takes the deal. I think that is a pretty definitive assumption, especially given this little nugget of information that has come out, which we're going back to that little video that I played by mistake earlier.
This moment right here, this is not an accident. This is a psychological operation in real time, and it's being used to shape what millions believe.
Excuse me, but it's those little things where, again, he would walk through the door, drop his bags, Daddy's home, take his phone, Friday night, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Stop right there. Why would that phrase even come up? Wasn't he known publicly as a Christian? So I asked a simple question. Do Christians say Shabbat Shalom? The answer was clear. No, typically they do not. Shabbat Shalom is a Hebrew Jewish greeting. It means peaceful Sabbath, and it's traditionally used from Friday evening to Saturday evening. Most Christians don't observe the Jewish Shabbat. They worship on Sunday. Now here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't him saying it himself. She claimed that he used this greeting. Someone else introduced that detail into the narrative. So when a man known publicly as a Christian is described by someone else as using a distinctly Jewish Sabbath greeting, that's not random. That's deliberate framing. It's meant to reshape the narrative entirely. At this point, I'm fully convinced we're watching a psychological operation unfold. One that only works because Charlie Kirk is no longer here to speak for himself. With his voice gone, the narrative is free to be reshaped. And now, the new CEO of TPUSA, Erica Kirk, is stepping into that vacuum, using this moment to aggressively push a narrative down our throats, over and over, until it becomes accepted as truth. Silence creates opportunity, and someone is taking full advantage of it.
But just know that nothing is by mistake. Nothing is by coincidence. Nothing.
So now I want to ask you, do you think this is genuine or strategic? Is this about honoring a legacy or controlling a narrative? And where do you draw the line between grief and influence? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Now, again, I can go with the idea that she took a deal with Israel that, in terms of being a publicity hound for them, I don't know that she was definitively had a hand in Charlie's death, or whether Israel had a hand in Charlie's death. But I do think it's pretty clear, pretty cut and dry, that Charlie rejected the deal with Israel. And then after his passing, Erica Kirk jumped on board with that.
To her, it's a deal of a lifetime, man.
Yeah.
It ain't grief. It ain't grief. It's influence.
It is influence. And there was a lot of problems between Erica and Charlie, apparently, as
it's two things.
Lucy pointed out.
Influence and narrative.
Yes, absolutely. And, because what would be the point of interjecting Shabbat Shalom into the idea? You have, what is it that show that came out recently, that Christian show? What was it? That it was about Jesus and his disciples.
I'm trying to think here, man.
The Chosen. I believe that's right. The Chosen ran for like 3 or 4 seasons. That the phrase Shabbat Shalom was pushed a lot in that. I only got to see a few episodes of the first season, but the phrase Shabbat Shalom did pop up a lot on that show, at least in the first few episodes that I saw. So I have no doubt that narrative would be something that would be pushed, saying Shabbat Shalom, because a lot of these organizations are pro-Israel. And again, nothing against the Jewish people, nothing but love for the Jewish people. God bless and protect the good God-fearing Jew. But there's no denying that Israel has been involved in a lot of criminal activity, a lot of war crimes. Benjamin Netanyahu, if he actually had peace, would have to step down from his political platform and face criminal prosecution for war crimes.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the sinking of the USS Liberty, the Jews dancing on 9/11, their subsequent involvement in 9/11, bad intel being fed to the U.S. government by Israeli intelligence regarding Iraq, that Al-Qaeda and even Osama bin Laden were hiding in Iraq, WMDs that didn't actually exist, so on and so forth. All that intelligence came from Israel. And then you have the mistreatment of U.S. to Israel ambassadors and subsequent parties there, the influence they have in our media, our banks, our financial institutions, our government, the blackmail ops and whatnot that have all come out in the Epstein files, their direct involvement with the government, Pentagon, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of issues here. And, a lot of people would say, oh, you're being anti-Semitic. No, take the Jew out of the picture for a second here and ask yourself, if this were any other country doing this, engaging in these behaviors, having done the things that I have just listed, would we not have wiped them out of existence, whether it was Russia, China, a European country, a South American country, a Middle Eastern country that's not Israel? You know, if it had been any other country,
there was a European.
There'd be hell to pay.
Exactly. 4748 was, 4748 was a moment that Eastern European influence helped create Israel. Now,
yeah,
the one who created it,
Rothschild was a key financier in that. He financed both sides of the World War II. Allegedly, there was actually a deal between him and Adolf Hitler to have a small scale Holocaust, and then Hitler went scorched earth. Not only tried to do everything he did, but also did something that a lot of people don't know, is that he arrested the Rothschilds and these big bankers and seized their assets. And it was at that point that Japan was activated to attack Pearl Harbor and then drag the Americans into World War II.
And why is that? Same shit they did with 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, you know.
Yeah, they did the same shit back then that they're doing now. They did it back then so that Israel could become a nation state, and then you had the Zionist influx over to Israel after the fact. Something that's still going on in great detail. One of the big narratives of the Israeli government is to get as many Jews to come to Israel as humanly possible. And now we've got the United States pretty much being Israel's lapdog and doing whatever Israel says. If Israel says jump, the United States jumps, despite the fact that the majority of Americans, both Republican and Democrat, and even BB Shittin' has said it, called them the woke Reich.
Well,
so
again,
it's a very common consensus between left and right that we want the government and our country to move away from Israel. It's not to say you can't have good relations with people and do business with them, but we need to take a step back from these people for sure, because if it had been any other country doing this shit to us, that country would cease to exist.
Exactly. There's a recent release footage of Netanyahu as a Israeli parliament and he's getting called out by half of the people there.
Wasn't it an address at the United Nations where he got up to speak and half the freaking people at the UN walked out?
No. This is in Israel.
I know what you're talking about, but didn't this also happen at the UN where half the people at the United Nations walked out and told him to get fucked?
He got called to his face a serial killer of peace.
He is. And nothing but love for the Jewish people. I mean, if you can throw out, I will say this, people, the pro-Israel crowd can throw out the whole Genesis argument all you want, but here's my counter argument to that. You can have your little Genesis argument, but why don't you support the Jewish people, the majority of which oppose Netanyahu and want him to step down and want him removed and want him prosecuted for his war crimes? Okay, the man has the lowest approval rating in world history.
Okay.
This guy is less popular than Adolf Hitler at this point. With his own people.
We got a comment from.
Why are you not supporting those people? So if we will get to that in a minute. Let me finish my thought, Reverend.
Okay.
If the pro-Israel crowd wants to support the Jewish people and support Israel, that's great. Support them when they are standing against a corrupt government. Because you read the Old Testament, when Israel took control of the promised land, there was one motherfucker who was caught up in idolatry. Just one guy. And God said, because of this guy, I'm going to wipe all you motherfuckers out. They're like, wait a minute, God, whoa. What did we do? We didn't do anything. We're on your side. What's up? Oh, well, this guy's worshiping idols in his house. So I'm going to wipe all you out. And they're like, oh, hell to the motherfucking no. They went to this guy and they're like, hey, asshole, what are you doing? You're going to get us all killed. And it's the same thing with Bibi Netanyahu. And the Zionist movement. The Jewish people, especially the Israeli citizens, are like, hey, you're making us look bad to the rest of the world. You're getting the rest of the world to hate us. Fuck you. They're opposed to these people because they're giving the Jewish people a bad name and making life harder on the average Jew, which is wrong. So if you're going to support Israel, support the people of Israel who are opposed to these assholes putting the Jewish people's heads on the goddamn chopping block. Revan, go ahead with Zero's comments.
He says here, I had a question first. What makes entire group of people exempt from doing anything wrong because they almost got genocide? Okay, yeah. Another one. Do you know how big Israel wants to make Israel?
Last question first. I think if they could, they would take control of the entire Middle Eastern region. Like, they would completely wipe out the Middle Eastern region. I think the only reason they don't is because they need an enemy to fight. They need some pretext in order to continue on with military action so that Benjamin Netanyahu can, one, stay in power, and two, continue to have the victim card. He wants the same power so he doesn't face criminal prosecution, and they want to have this continuous Israel as the victim card.
Here we go.
What do you got? Did he send it to me or did he send it to everybody?
No, he sent it to me. Okay.
Okay, send it to me. I'll bring it up on camera. Forward that to me and I will bring it up.
Okay.
So that's about how big Israel wants to make it. And that is way bigger than what was described in the Bible, what they got after their exodus and 40 years in the desert. Okay. So let's look at this map here. Share screen. Okay. So that's pretty much what they want. Israel generally is right around here. But they want to take all this even into Egypt all the way up to Cairo. But here's the thing. They crossed the Red Sea and wandered in the wilderness for the longest time until they got Israel. But, they want to take over a good majority of everything. A good chunk of Syria, Iraq, Baghdad, pretty much Cairo on down to damn near the southern border of Egypt. Amman, Damascus, Lebanon. They want to take a huge chunk of the Middle East here. I mean, wow. And I think Zero, I think you might be wrong in this. Because they want Turkey as well. So I do see the borderline here. They would want part of Turkey as well. They get to be some greedy motherfuckers here.
Turkey is their next target, man.
Yeah, Turkey is their next target. And it's been one that's been on their bucket list for a long time. Damn.
I'm wondering about the threat they made to China last year.
Say again?
I'm wondering what happened to the threat they made to China last year.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, here, I've been thinking a lot about this lately because you look at the biblical prophecies of Revelations, the 2 million man army that marches on Israel. Now, you have a lot of people who are saying that the alliance between Russia and China would equate to that 1 million or 2 million man army and facilitates that. Now, Russia is aligned with Iran. Okay, they have an alliance. China is taking a big economic hit, especially with the Strait of Hormuz being blocked off. They're taking a big financial hit right now.
Yeah.
And again, that's another ally of Russia. So things are already tense between the Middle East and Russia and the United States and Russia because of fucking Twinkie boy, fucking cocaine, the cocaine addict,
Zelensky.
God damn it, what is his name?
Zelensky.
Yes, Mr. Trump, big deal. In Ukraine, that's no big deal. Hey, EU, you give me more cocaine now? Yeah, that whole thing's not resolved. So with this new conflict in Iran and the way Trump is handling this, just being over the top,
It's bad.
A trolling asshole at this point. He's not making very many friends. In fact, he's making more enemies than friends in that regard. And I'm thinking that it might be the provocation that prompts Israel and Russia to send in that 2 million man army to march on Israel. Now, most of Israel's population is comprised in one area. I forget what it is. It's not Jerusalem. It's the other area. Fuck. Damn it. What is it? What is the area that it's not Jerusalem.
Last my knowledge, it was call it the
I can't think of it.
The area between Israel and Palestine. That small gap.
But what I'm getting at here, if anybody wants to strike, all they would have to do is just strike this one area because that's where the majority of the Israeli population is. And it's not that big of a population.
No.
But you also stand the prospect of, a nuclear war or military missile strikes that can completely wipe out that area. And I was thinking about it the other day. A lot of these countries, especially Russia, they have very strong Christian values. And if they go the Christian route of, okay, we don't want the Antichrist, we need to push back on this, they can bombard Israel with missiles to the point that they exhaust their anti-missile defense systems. And they could send in a nuke and detonate that thing right there on the fucking ground at the temple site, which would radiate the area for 1,000 years or so. Was it 100 or 1,000 years? Either way,
yeah,
no rebuilding of the temple, which means no Antichrist for 1,000 years, because there's nowhere for the Antichrist to sit. No need to send in a million or 2 million man army, because the Antichrist ain't there. And I think the rebuilding of the temple might be the provocation that sends in the 2 million man army from Russia and China. But I wouldn't be surprised if you would also see a barrage of missile strikes to exhaust Israel's anti-defense systems, and then one boomy boom takes out the temple site, and no temple for 1,000 years. You can't even go in that area because it's going to be so heavily radiated for a very, very long time, and we would not see the rebuilding of the third temple within our lifetimes. It probably be,
if you look at the map,
3 generations before we ever get close to that.
If you look at the bigger map of the Gulf area, entire region, Iran just sent a couple missiles into Israel. Now,
yeah.
Iraq is back in Iran. Okay.
Yeah.
And if they send
so is China. China. A lot of the military equipment that Iran has came from China as well.
If they hit,
if I'm not correct.
Now, here's the thing. We all know that these missiles can't go long range. Okay? We all know that. If they send a missile into where they have the nukes and shit,
yes,
that would completely obliterate half of Israel.
It would, but I think that they really wouldn't have to. I think the area is Tel Aviv, if I'm correct, is where the majority of the Israel occupation resides. One nuke would really decimate Tel Aviv. And again, if they really wanted to be dicks about it, whether it be Iran or
Iraq,
Russia, or even China, exhausting Israel's anti-missile defense system and then sending in 1, maybe 2 nukes, one to Tel Aviv to decimate the population, and one to the temple site to ensure that the temple is not rebuilt. I can't say that I can't see that being a strategic option for any of these parties involved. Now, I would most certainly not be an advocate for violence and death and the use of nuclear weapons, because if one person uses nukes, everybody's going to go fucking ape shit with them. And it's going to be bad news bears. And I'm going to be sitting up on a hill smoking a cigar and going, well, it was nice while it lasted.
I think the one target
I haven't smoked in 3 years.
The one target they may, I'm just putting it out there. Just a kind of a something here. Not something, but a theory out there.
Okay.
I think one of the targets may be that temple.
Yeah, well, I mean, they already sacrificed the red heifers recently.
Because the thing is, the one way to really break Netanyahu is go after the missile defense system, the system itself.
Yeah, because they only have so many resources. They're primarily dependent on the United States, but the United States has to bring in all that equipment from here, unless they have the UK supplying assistance and open up factories and munitions lines in the UK and then start bringing stuff down from there, which would make things a little easier, but still it would take time. If you exhausted those anti-missile resources, there would be a window to strike. Now, I'm not advocating for that because, again, if one person uses nukes, everybody's going to use nukes, and it's bad news bears. Right? We do not want that. Absolutely not.
Oh yeah, it's kind of funny how.
But I can acknowledge the reality of the situation.
Oh yeah, it's kind of funny
because you can napalm Tel Aviv. You can just bomb the shit out of Tel Aviv without a nuclear strike. Now, the Temple Mount, that'd be a different story because you would, in theory, want to radiate the ground. You would want to have that missile detonate as close to the ground as humanly possible so that the ground would be completely radiated and uninhabitable for a very long period of time. So if you were going to use a nuke, I would say it would have to be for that purpose.
Yeah. The only difference between the only one difference,
because otherwise you don't want to cross the line of using nukes. I'm sorry to cut you off, but again, you can't stress this point enough. If one person uses nukes, everybody's going to use nukes, and it's going to be bad. That's
what I was saying. But the thing is, the one difference between Iran and Israel, Iran don't have any weapons, no at all. If they did have anything nuclear, it'll be used as energy, right? Energy to power homes and shit. Positive. Israel has about 400 to 600 nuclear missiles.
Yeah,
they're a threat. Iran's not.
Yeah, I mean, they might be trying to get a nuclear program going, but I would think that if Israel wasn't being a problem child, most of these Middle Eastern countries would just mind their own business and leave well enough alone. But if it weren't for this greater Israel project that Cursero has pointed out and all of that, it wouldn't be an issue. I don't think there would be this problem if Israel would just sit down, shut up, and just mind its own fucking sandbox instead of trying to shit in everybody else's sandbox.
And not just that, but allow the UN people going there. I mean, they did this to Iraq over 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Nothing.
They wanted us to go to Iraq, so they fed us bad intel, said there was weapons of mass destruction, said that the Taliban and Al-Qaeda might have been there. They deliberately fed us false intel to get us to go and invade Iraq under false pretenses. But that alone should have been like, hey, fuck you assholes.
But yet they denied the UN to go in and check for anything, during these. They rejected everything.
Yeah, everything that Israeli intelligence fed us regarding the war in Iraq was completely false. And to answer your question, Zero, you said like 3 or 5 days ago, did Ukraine just hit Russia somewhere? I did not hear about that, but today Zelensky says he may order the Ukraine military to kill Hungary's president as megalomania sweeps the world. That's an article by Alex Jones that was posted on his Saturday emergency broadcast that is currently
wait a minute. Hungary?
Yeah, the article reads, Alex Jones, live emergency Saturday broadcast. Trump threatens complete destruction and certain death after Iran refuses to totally surrender. Meanwhile, Zelensky says he may order the Ukraine military to kill Hungary's president as megalomania sweeps the world. That is the article by Alex Jones for his live Saturday broadcast that is going on right now.
The people, this guy needs to be removed, man.
He is. And the fact that Trump has long time ignored the fact that this guy is the problem, not Russia, and that NATO is the problem, not Russia, and he keeps playing this game, I have to make the argument that Trump is an Israeli pawn and is deliberately going along with this mainstream narrative instead of the actual truth and combating globalism and draining the swamp and going after the satanic pedophiles and all this shit like he promised to do, and instead he's going along with the bullshit narrative that we've been fed ever since before 9/11. It's the same bullshit. He's just going along with it.
There's an article.
I have to say he's a globalist pawn at this point. And you look at what happened with the State of the Union address. You got Eric Kirk, and he's propagating her and all these people. And then not long after that, you know, these pro-Israeli platforms and whatnot, and all this shit with these pro-Israeli platforms. And now we're at war, fighting side by side with Israel for the Greater Israel Project as part of the whole, and just continuing to propagate the Project for a New American Century. Coincidence?
I read an article this week. Trump wants to be there when they announce the new leader of Iran.
Yeah. And Zero, you're joking, right? Okay, check this out, bro. With this strike in Iran, Jones is beyond upset. And I mean, not like yelling and screaming upset. I mean, breaking down in fucking tears upset. He has said for the longest time that Trump's done a lot of great things, but it's like a punch bowl. The punch bowl is great, but when you take a shit in it, it's no good. And he said that quite a few times. And then recently, with this whole strike and subsequent war in Iran, Trump's pretty much shot himself in the foot with his base. Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Candace Owens. Candace Owens was already against Trump. What is his name? The young one. Damn it, I cannot. Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has gone, since this whole thing has happened, has come out and said that he wants people to vote Democrat in the midterms to drive the point home against Republicans that we're not going to take this bullshit. And Jones interviewed Nick just a couple days ago and talking about all of this and what Trump's doing. And Jones was practically breaking down in tears. And I've been watching Jones for years. I cannot say that up until this point, I had ever seen Jones break down in tears, being so upset that he actually broke down in tears. You hear him yelling and screaming and throwing a tantrum and whatnot. We've seen that all his career. But I cannot say that I have ever seen this man so upset that he was choking back tears. It was bad. And if you don't believe me, go back and watch the complete interview between he and Nick Fuentes this past week. It was tough to watch.
I'd like to add something to the Nick Fuentes thing here. Besides Democrat, how about also vote third party, man?
You can, but I think it goes back to the idea. Sorry, go ahead, finish your thought.
The thing is like this. Look, if you really want to make a hit against both parties, I mean, like seriously, vote Green, Independent, or Libertarian, man. Like seriously, man. Like
you could, but still, they generally align with most of the left or right ideologies. There needs to be an alternative measure of accountability.
Yeah. The thing is, if you stop voting Republican and vote for a third party and really make a hit, like a fist to the balls kind of hit, man, vote that way, I tell you what, it would definitely show how weak they can be.
Yeah. That is an idea. My thing is, I think it's just going back to the old model. I don't think Nick really realizes this, and if he does, then that's a problem. But it's the old model. You would vote Republican because the Democrats weren't doing a good job and getting things done, and were getting out of control. So you voted Republican in the primaries or the next presidential election. But then the Republicans didn't do the job. So the next time around, you go back and you vote Democrat. And it's a back and forth, back and forth. Oh, okay, well, maybe the other party will do a good job.
The thing is, you got to hit. You have to hit them here. Hit them here.
Yeah, it's the game of, okay, what do you want? A red dick in your ass or a blue dick in your ass? Either way, it's a dick in your ass. But you're convincing the American people to just play this back and forth game. Oh, well, this one didn't get it done, so I'm going to vote this way this time around. Oh, they didn't get it done, so I'm going to go back and vote this way again. It's a constant back and forth game.
I'm saying this as a psychological warfare kind of thing, man.
It is psychological warfare against the American people. But like you're saying, we need to turn the tide on them. Because what the problem is, these people think they are leaders. They think they are elected leaders. No, they are representatives. You are elected representatives. And that is what we need to get back to. They need to get back to, they need to get out of this idea that they are leaders and get back to being public servants, because they think they're leaders and not public servants when they are servants, not leaders. Okay, they are servants. This needs to be understood and needs to be home in the most brutal way possible. And I'm not saying brutal as in violence. I mean, if it comes down to it, may the justice be done, let the heavens fall. I'm not advocating for violence, but
this would be
another kind.
Oh yeah, this would be where I'm going at is another type of anarchy. Okay, not violent. It's time for us to play 4D chess, man.
Yeah, like not going to work or not paying your taxes anymore, or there's numerous ways we can hit this. And whatever the people decide they want to do, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, we can throw out possible scenarios, but at the end of the day, the government as a whole needs to be forcibly reminded and have this idea enforced that they are not leaders, they are servants. Their job is to carry out the will of the American people, not impose their will on the American people. Okay? This distinction needs to be made clear, and it needs to be driven home hard. And you have this Israeli lobby that's infiltrating the media and trying to take control because they want to try to hide behind. They want to even try to have the government hidden behind Israel and the anti-Semitic shield. Because, if you don't support the government and the attack in Iran, then you're anti-Semitic. Oh, you farted near a Jew, you're anti-Semitic. Even though it was an accident, you ate too much Taco Bell and it was an accident, you're anti-Semitic. It's a complete bullshit narrative to provide a shield against accountability. And I think that's why Erica Kirk got put in the position that she was put in, because they thought she would be equally as effective as Charlie, even if she was pro-Israel. They thought, okay, we're going to get rid of Charlie. We'll get Erica to fill his slot, and the American people will support her in sympathy for Charlie, and she'll take the Israeli money and be a pro-Israel platform. And it subsequently blew up in their face.
Yeah.
That's why Erica Kirk was at the State of the Union, and which was immediately followed by the military strikes in Iran. I don't think this was a coincidence. And I think it was all a part of a deliberative influence narrative. And even Candace is to the point where she's like, she's ready to call out some motherfuckers.
She called out Ben Shapiro the other day.
Yeah, she did. I got a couple videos that I'm going to play here. Yeah, and Zero is correct. It's called the divide and conquer narrative. But I'm going to play some videos here. I want to put the last 2 videos that I have regarding Candace Owens, but there's some interesting things that are playing out here that I want to bring up, and then we'll talk about where Turning Point USA is going from here.
Candace Owens has either stepped off the deep end, or she's sounding an alarm everyone else is too afraid to hear. Because this new update, it's wild. Candace just announced that her show is going dark for the week, and according to her, both the White House and U.S. counterterrorism agencies have officially acknowledged receiving her report. A report that accuses French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife Brigitte of orchestrating her assassination. Yes, the President of France. Owens now claims Macron funneled $1.5 million to make the hit happen. She's even asking the world how it will react when all the evidence supposedly proving this is revealed. And here's where it gets stranger. General Mike Flynn is publicly backing her, saying there's a lot of truth behind what she's alleging. So what are we looking at here? Is Candace Owens spiraling, like her critics insist? Or is she genuinely blowing the whistle on a tangled web involving Charlie Kirk, Macron, Epstein, foreign interests, and whatever shadows are creeping behind the scenes? Because if General Flynn knows, then others in government know. Which raises the question, what are they doing about an alleged international hit on a US citizen? And where is Trump in all of this? One thing becomes clear the deeper you stare into it. The people in power are terrified of losing control of the narrative. And Candace, whether hero or hysteric, is shaking that narrative hard enough to rattle the whole stage. Candace Owens has
I'll do a deal with the government. If they come out and they tell us the truth about what they did to Charlie Kirk, I'll retire from podcasting. How about that? Zionist, something for you to focus on. You want me gone? You want me to shut up? I care so much and so deeply about what happened on September 10th. I will agree to retire from podcasting if you admit what you did. How's that? I won't hold my breath.
That's
It's very interesting. Like I found that last night, and I'm like, whoa. And she's saying she will retire from podcasting. She will hang it up. She will shut up and retreat to the shadows if the absolute truth regarding Charlie Kirk comes out.
Yeah, I agree. Admit what you did. Admit you sent somebody to. Sounds like a guy who exposed the scam of colleges and shit.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was. Charlie Kirk was a very smart guy, man.
He was
31 years old, a dad. Shit, dude. I mean, it's sad, man. It's very, very, very sad. You know, I mean,
yeah. But you were saying that Erica Kirk is stepping down, and Kirk's sister is going to be taking her place. And I think this is a good point in the podcast to
she's
that up.
Being forced out.
Yeah, I however you want to word it, but I think this is a good time to segue into that portion of this conversation.
I'd be happy she left.
Yeah, well, we covered everything leading up to these events. Now we're at the current. Erica Kirk is being forced out. She's being forced to step down. And Charlie's sister is going to be taking her place.
Yeah.
Obviously Erica Kirk was not too popular.
No, she was not.
The direction she went and taking the Israeli deal and everything that she faced with Candace Owens and trying to defend herself against the onslaught of accusations just did not pan out well for her. So now she's being forced out, and Charlie's sister is now taking the mantle. Why Charlie's sister?
That's a good question. Well, if you think about it, for the last 16, 17 months, no, more than less than that. More of I'll say, when did Charlie get shot? Was it June or July of last year?
No, wasn't it like September 10th?
Okay, but the thing is, it's been months.
Not in session in July, and he was at a college campus.
Utah, but yet people started to see who she truly is.
Mm-hmm.
And like, man, people are starting to put a lot of people are like seeing her as a gold digger.
She is. She's a lot like Pam Bondi. She'll go wherever the money is. She's a gold digging yes man. She'll take the money and be like, yes, Mr. ATM machine, I'll do whatever you ask. Whether it be Israel, another group, whatever the money says to do, these people will do. And there are plenty of men who will do that shit too. Let's not mince words.
But she's also in a relationship with a couple of women. And one woman that she was with got a job at Dream Point USA.
Yeah.
And Charlie hired her.
Yeah, and she and Erica and her had a little lesbian thing going on there.
Little teet.
Yeah. A little bit of scissoring going on there in the back office.
Yeah, scissoring minus the runs.
Oh, God. Ugh. Like, why, dude? Why? Scissoring with the runs?
Minus the runs.
No. You listen here. You listen here. You sick little monkey. Like, seriously.
Scissoring minus the runs, man.
I mean, the thought would have been hot, but then you got to go and make it gross. Like Tila Tequila taking a dump on the salad bar at Wendy's kind of shit. It's like, come on. No, nobody is really opposed to the idea of two chicks getting it on. We'll sit back, watch a cigarette, smoke a cigarette, and be like, yep, this is fun. But then you got to go and throw excrement into it, man. You got to just throw the excrement into it. Fuck.
It's either that or a chick wearing a thong while taking a shit, calling her a logger.
Motherfuck, noise.
Yeah. Just stop, please. I can't. No, they can't have the runs because they've got a Zionist butt plug right up their ass.
Well, I mean, if one of them farts, shoots it out, and kill a cat, olay.
I'm just going to keep going with these buttons. Just stop. Okay, so she had a lesbian thing with her intern that Charlie hired. She was allegedly involved with varying government officials, probably even J.D. Vance, if I'm correct.
Probably.
I've heard that somewhere. I could be wrong on that. But what else with Erica? I mean, the biggest caveat here was she said there was an autopsy report when there wasn't one. The memorial service that they held was put together way too quickly, especially for the guest list that were in attendance. I mean, that happened way too fast for most people.
Yeah, it was planned, man. It was planned. I mean, the thing is, September 10th was one hell of an infamous day, man. I mean, not just that, but they were cleaning up the crime scene. What was it?
They were properly cleaning up the crime scene. We don't have the bullet. I mean, there's a lot of things that raise a lot of questions. But you know, Candace, she's very passionate about it. I've got no qualms against her wanting the truth. You know, we all want the truth as to what happened and why. Did she maybe go down some rabbit holes that were full of shit? Maybe. But I can't say that I begrudge her for looking at every possible angle, because even in shit, there's often a nugget of truth. So I can't say that I blame her for investigating all these angles, regardless of how ludicrous they may be, and trying to ascertain the truth. Again, allegedly, didn't you say that her and Charlie might have had a thing at some point?
There was a rumor that allegedly that her and Charlie Kirk had a thing. No, they were friends.
Yeah.
They were friends. I mean, Charlie Kirk and Dave Rubin.
No, it was Lucid who said that Kirk and Candace might have had a thing. Because they have a very deep friendship that may transcend platonic friendship.
No, she married an English guy.
Yeah, but still, you can marry one person and still love another person. It's known to happen. But you can fall out of love with your spouse, or
you consider Charlie Kirk like a brother. I mean, they're good friends.
Yeah. And that may be the case, and there may have been something more there. I don't know. Again, like Candace, I'm just exploring all angles, and because we want to ascertain the truth, we want to know what really happened to Charlie.
If there was anything before Erica Kirk, so what? So what?
Well, I mean, if there was something between Candace and Charlie, he wanted to bring Candace back in on his tour. Now, if there was something going on there between the two of them, and Erica had found out about it and then found out, oh shit, he's trying to bring her back into the fold. I can see a scenario of hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. I mean, we can't say that we deny the prospect that, we have a wife's scorn at this point. That could very well be a prospect.
But
I'm not accusing Candace of anything. I'm just saying, these are the allegations.
Yeah.
These are the rumors. These are the things that are flying around. We got to look at everything just like Candace looks at everything.
Yeah. But like I was saying.
And separate fact from fiction and try to ascertain the truth as best as humanly possible.
Like I was saying, even if they did before Erica Kirk came around in his life, so what? It's history. Ancient history,
Mm-hmm.
You can be good friends with an ex, right?
To a point, yeah.
To a point,
I would think you differ on that. Your past intruding on your present can be the future.
But as long as you keep it platonic, only friendship only. Look, I'm still married, but I've been separated for over 20 years. Okay, my son's mom is in a relationship. Hey, as long as she's happy, Just leave it alone. You know.
I mean, some people can. Probably far fewer can't, because somebody is usually always going to be harboring some sort of feelings in that relationship, whether positive or negative, and it can have a negative impact on relationships with other people moving forward. It's very seldom that you can actually have a platonic friendship with somebody that is an ex. And not to say it can't happen, but it's very, very rare. But that's provided Candace and Charlie were even actually ever involved, which is just hearsay.
If there was nothing involved that way between the two, there's still going to be rumors about them for years to come, because it's a narrative. It's influence kind of thing, man.
And let's not mince words. They were close friends. There was a very strong bond there. He was not a bad-looking guy. She's a very good-looking woman.
Oh, hell yeah.
I mean, I'm not just... I would say that if given the opportunity, like, if she said, hey, you want to go do something, I can't say that the thought wouldn't cross my mind. Yes. Now, would I have to take a step back and go, no, you're married? But would I give it strong consideration? I can't say that I wouldn't. I mean, she's an absolutely gorgeous woman whose ideals align a lot with my own. A woman after my own heart. So yeah, like if she said, yeah. So yeah, especially if I had a close friendship with her, like her and Charlie did. So we can't rule out the realm of possibility. It's hearsay, but
look,
it's not without an air of possibility.
Okay, there will always be rumors about anybody like that. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Will it stop? No, because all it will do is cause more problems for everybody else. You know.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make trouble for Candace or stir the pot there between her and Erica. I mean, there's enough problems there to boot already without
jealousy
clinging to rhetoric or rumors.
I think it's more of jealousy on. I mean, like, for example, a wife with any wife or any girlfriend, whether you're in a straight or a lesbian relationship, there will always be that one person, and in the back of their mind, they're going to build up this file of jealousness here. And
because women tend to lean in their emotions,
even though things are not happening between anybody here.
Yeah, it's a very common narrative.
You could have a sister brother kind of thing, you know. That's fine. You don't need to be blood to be family.
Yeah,
but there will. I mean, same with us guys, man. We will have that file built up in our minds, and vice versa,
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I said women tend to get caught up in their feelings, but men do too. Men have that jealousy factor. They don't want to share their woman, which is understandable. Nobody wants to share their significant other. And, where other people are involved, especially in terms of the opposite sex, jealousy can creep in. You can start making up scenarios in the mind, whether you're a man or a woman, about what your spouse might be doing with this person, even if what they're doing is completely innocent. A person can start making up scenarios in their head, and they can believe those scenarios, and they can retaliate based on those scenarios, even if no wrong had actually occurred. But in that person's mind, they become convinced of their own volition. They convince themselves that something did actually happen or is happening, and retaliate in accordance based on how they're feeling based on their imagination having run amok. And, with these insinuations about Charlie and Candace, and Charlie wanting to bring Candace back into the fold on his tour, it stands a very real possibility that there might have been some jealousy, even pre-existing jealousy, from Erica on that. And, it stands a very real possibility that, the wheels in Erica's head might have started turning, and that gerbil spouting off some bullshit. That little hamster on the wheel is spouting off some bullshit, spinning around in her head.
Or not just jealousy, but fear that Kenneth might find something. I don't think it's any jealousy.
Oh.
It's fear. It's fear in the back of her mind that Kenneth might find something. Okay, that's why we're hearing about the alleged threats to her life by Macron and his wife.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that could be intertwined with all this that we don't know. I mean, if Israel is involved, if Erica and Turning Point was involved, we don't know for sure. But if they were, the rabbit hole usually goes a lot deeper than you think it does.
Oh yeah.
So we cannot rule out the possibilities, and I hope that the truth will eventually come out. Me personally, I do believe that Tyler Robinson believes that he was a lone shooter acting of his own accord because of
ideology,
the ideology and beliefs that he had embraced that he was subsequently exposed to and subsequently embraced. Now, did those ideologies come from the left and by proxy the Jews, as the same with what happened prior to the rise of the Third Reich in Germany in the 1930s and 40s, even all the way back to the 20s? Yes. Okay. Does that mean Israel was directly involved? No, but you can't rule out the possibility either, especially considering Israel wanted to suppress the creation of an autopsy. They didn't want an autopsy done. There's no bullet. And now Erica's saying that she saw an autopsy report that doesn't actually exist, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we've got a lot of problems. There's a lot of muddy waters there. Erica Kirk now has to step down. She's been forced out. And Kirk's sister is going to take Charlie's place. Where does this take Turning Point USA now that this is fixing to happen? Where do you think that Charlie's sister is going to take this? You think that she's going to follow in Erica's stead and continue on with that legacy that Erica's establishing? Or do you think she's going to revert back to the way Charlie had it?
I think she may take it where Charlie left off. Pick up where it left off and continue.
So she's going to revert it back to where Charlie had it. But that is unless, money talks a big game. And we'll have to see. Do we know when Erica is set to step down and hand things off to Charlie's sister?
Let me see here. Let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Again. Now, for what I'm saying, is it confirmed? I don't know, but there is currently no information indicating when or if Edgar Kirk will step down a role as CEO of Tomorrow USA. She expressed her commitment to honor her late husband. We all know. Okay, I mean, if it did happen, and it's a big if it did happen, look, we need
basically it's just a rumor at this point.
Yeah. But do I believe that rumor? No, because the thing is, again, money talks, bullshit walks, man.
Yeah. So it's not. It's just a rumor that Erica is being forced out. There's no definitive evidence to support that she is stepping down. So,
but this is from February 10th of this year. The list. Edgar Kirk, Triple USA, is reporting destroying itself from the inside out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, everything Erica Kirk has been doing, is bullshit. The people see that as bullshit. They don't like the direction that she's taking it. They don't like the misinformation and the bullshit that she's spewing. And with her being held up as a poster child that segued into this war with Iran and pushing this whole Christian, you got to support the Jews because of a passage in Genesis bullshit. It's a huge narrative.
Edgar Kirk took over to USA after her husband's death in September, and she has been all over the news since, despite the facts that the world we've been hearing way more about Turn USA than ever before in recent months. It doesn't seem like the conservative organization is doing.
They're not doing themselves any favors.
Yeah. Somehow, TPUSA's halftime show was an even bigger flop than everyone expected. But it seems that this is just one of the organization's many problems. There is alleged folk working at TPUSA whose goal is to bring it down from the inside, which may be prompting some recent firings. A Turn USA insider told the Daily Mail that was a connection with information that was being leaked from the organization to right-wing podcaster Kenneth Owens. The leaks have been confirmed and verified. They said the presumption is that the leakers didn't share it before they were fired because they knew it looks bad, but the tech window for thinking her team.
Okay, so Turning Point USA could wind up going the way of the dinosaurs fairly quickly.
Yeah.
They've really shot themselves in the foot with their agenda. I mean, most everybody, even many Christians, are opposed to Turning Point USA. Lucid and his wife are very opposed to Turning Point USA, and we're laughing hysterically and want to get one of our Toilet Paper USA shirts, which I will gladly share with you people here today. Here you have your Toilet Paper USA shirt because they're full of shit. And we've got that for the low price of $21.99. Along with many other great shirts. We've got Tan, the Trump Apologist Network, the Epstein's Lemon Penis, Wanted Poster Shirt, Anonymous, Where Art Thou, Toilet Paper USA, and Spam Bundy, and so much more, ladies and gentlemen. So, check out our online store, support the broadcast, and again, it doesn't cost anything to share the live feeds, to share the retransmissions, to follow us on our various social medias, X, YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, and so on and so forth. It's nothing but fun and absolutely free fun to fuck up YouTube's algorithm. Plus, if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified anytime we go live. The second we go live, ding, your phone goes off. You can tune in, join in on the podcast, and engage in the conversation. And, of course, it costs nothing to join in the conversation. We've got about 6 people tuning in right now, and Zero has been our main contributor. I know Brady was watching the other day, our good buddy Brady D, who used to chime in a lot. He's been quiet as of late, but I do know he watches. And like I told you before, buddy, feel free to join in the conversation. I know you've got a lot of great thoughts that you would like to share, or even if you're just cracking jokes, come in and be a part of the conversation. And this goes for everybody. Anybody tuning in, if you have any thoughts, opinions, or information, please share in the comments and make this the best, most informative conversation that we can. And even after the podcast ends, keep the conversations going. We love to hear your thoughts and opinions. We love to get your feedback. And we're still looking for 2 good hosts who would make a great fit to join us here on the roundtable.
Exactly.
Connor is currently dealing with family stuff. He's currently just opened the Taekwondo studio that was opened in his daughter's name. You know, many, many props to them. Congratulations there on their success. I hope that goes very well. I look forward to seeing how that goes. But because of that, he's kind of had to step away. Zero pops in on occasion. Tommy Bird says he wants to join in, but he's usually very busy himself. And like Lucid, oftentimes has to work on the weekends because of where they work. So it just becomes a prerequisite. But, you know, if you are a like-minded individual that resonates with the things that we talk about and have a lot to say and a lot you can bring to the table, by all means, hit us up on our social medias. Message us on X. Message us on Facebook. Get in touch with us. We'll sit down and have a chat and see if you're a good fit. But in the meantime, I gotta start getting my ass ready for work. So I am gonna go ahead and cue the outro music. And that's pretty much that, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's a lot of issues, a lot of unresolved issues with Turning Point USA and this whole Charlie Kirk investigation. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and we need answers to those questions. And we need a government that is going to listen to the people and be of the people, by the people, for the people, and not throw a temper tantrum and say, no, I'm MAGA. When in truth, you rode the populist wave in and called it MAGA and try to put yourself as a front runner. Okay, you are not a leader. You are an elected representative. You are a public servant. You are all public servants that need to do the will of the American people, not impose your will or the will of a foreign power on the American people. And you need to be reminded of that. And we, the American people and the people of the world, need to remind our governments of that. So, this is the Tin Man, Chris Sheldon with the Worldwide Resistance Network. On behalf of Reverend Ordo, thank you for showing up on such short notice. And for everybody that tuned in and engaged in the conversations, thank you all so much. And until next time, I am Chris Sheldon with the Worldwide Resistance Network. If you are watching this, you are the resistance. And until next time on Tin Man TV, Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Central Time. Till then, stay safe, stay strong, never give up on the fight. And God bless you all. Be safe out there. God bless you. This is the Tin Man with the Worldwide Resistance Network. Reverend Ordo, signing off. Peace!